Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to our...
It's been a minute.
Yeah, we had a lot of thinking to do after Chicago of what to do.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's been exhausting to think, to even try to summarize how much talking and discussing through our like...
Soul searching.
Yeah, of like, what do you want out of life competing? Should you continue? Just in general. Does it make sense to go to Tampa? Like all these questions, like how'd you do on that stage? Like have to really assess it all. So
yeah.
So in summary, in front of us are both of our contracts for the Tampa Pro. We're gonna do it.
Do it.
YOLO.
YOLO.
I know that's so old. Like John, why'd you just say YOLO? Because I just like saying it.
Bring it back, babe.
You want me to summarize quick or what?
Yeah. Yes.
Or do you want to have your own piece of why you're doing Tampa?
No, I think you should. I think you should take this one.
If people want to hear you talk, tell them. Tell them what.
What am I gonna tell them?
Why are you doing Tampa?
Oh gosh.
All right, Renee will take forever for me to put her on the spot.
Don't put me on the spot.
So Renee got third in Chicago, so it's like, well, it makes a lot of sense for Renee to go to Tampa because she's one spot away from qualifying from the Olympia. And hey, Storm.
Sorry, that was our dog.
And so she is a very good chance to do very well in Tampa and probably qualify for the Olympia. To have that opportunity and then to be able to be one of the first wellness Olympians is... So it could be a once in a lifetime thing. There's a lot of opportunity there and it makes sense to do it. I think some of the behind the scene things is, you know, seeing that there's more that she wants out of her physique development wise, and to like, don't want to rush into stage again without having those. But I think it still made sense to like, hey, you're still a very competitive wellness competitor. For the vision, it makes sense to go on to Tampa. And even to like, we see some of the Olympians going and they're very good. And there's areas where Renee wants more development to probably really be knockout in the division. And that might be an off season, but we're looking at another 9 weeks of competing to have the opportunity to step on that stage, compare to be a wellness Olympian to be labeled that forever. You know, and then from there you can assess amongst the best in the world what you need to develop wise in your physique. So that's why she's doing Tampa. I've been competing forever, so well, fuck it. Why not just keep going?
I mean, he's gonna be there anyways, right?
No, so yeah. After Chicago, I looked at my picks. I'm like, I need more front development. That's gonna take an off season. But then after us like kind of picking out some food, I got really full and round. I'm like, man, if I could still get fuller for stage, I think I can. You know, it's a level of grading to this. Like you get 80% full, you're super hard. But if you brought it up to 90%, maybe it's that much better. And I wasn't flat. People were like, oh, you're flat. Like, get out of here, I'm not flat. So anyway, if I can bring that fullness to Tampa, it makes sense to try to bring an all-time best. Renee's doing it. I'm going to be there anyway. It was only 10 more days of dieting. That's not a big deal. We have a photo shoot with Animal the next week, so I'm going to have to stay in shape anyway. And more so, like I want to, if this is my last show of the season, I want to go out feeling like I brought the full look and the hard look. That'd be cool. And then it might possibly lock me into the Olympia for points or possibly win the show. You know, you don't know. But if Renee gets qualified, and I'm qualified, that at least gives us the choice to go on to Olympia together, or hey, we just want an off season. But
which honestly, like either way, like
we're good either way.
We're good either way.
I'm gonna have fun at this show. This is my 4th show, and just to like come in super full, like I don't feel like I need to prove anything conditioning wise, but I want to just see what I can do for myself. Bringing that look. So, and
honestly, we had such a good time in Chicago that it's gonna be fun to do it again together.
It was so fun. That was the biggest thing too. It's like the outcomes are what they are, but just competing together is fun. Like if Renee went to Olympia, I think I would probably do it with her, maybe, just because sharing in that together is the fun aspect of it.
A big part of this for me is just creating those memories together. So that's what's important to me.
Yeah, to look back on, like, even thinking back through the show, you know, getting on stage in those moments, and, you know, that's very memorable. But really the most memorable things were, like, just sitting backstage with her, or being in the backstage lineup with us, just sharing the moments together. And then, of course, like, eating post-show and feeling the same emotions was all really, really cool and memorable that I'll never forget. So, but ultimately, we'd also want to do what's best for us competitive-wise. But anyway, this is like me jabbering on for too long. So we're going to sign these contracts.
Lock it in.
Let's do it.
Today's the last day to get these contracts in. So.
Wait till the last minute always.
Yeah. And some of them might not know, but Tampa was actually my very first wellness show as an amateur. So to go back to Tampa and compete as a pro is kind of a cool thing to do. So.
And that was my first pro win. My only pro win.
So we've been at this show before, and it holds a lot of good memories for us, and we like Tampa. So it's gonna be fun to go back.
So there's like whole like good juju around Tampa for us. Yeah. Juju. Jewett. If you saw what I did there. So ideally we both go and win Tampa, and we're like, yeah. You know,
I feel like I'm cheating on a test here.
These contracts, so they'll ask you like for the name of the event, then they ask you for the name of the promoter, and then the name of the hotel, which it's all kind of strange to fill in. But by now I have a lot of this stuff kind of memorized because I've done the similar shows.
All right, signature time. Just lock it.
Done. Tampa. And you know, I made some posing corrections too that I think I really want to show on stage with my front double and my overhead abdominal and thigh. Like, I got beat on some front shots, and I think being fuller and changing up the posing will be cool to display. And then I have issues with my tan. And we got some self-tanner, so I can tan Wednesday, wash it off, have actual LSR spray me Thursday, wash off again Friday, get sprayed again, and then I should have like the darkest, best look possible on stage. But anyway, we're gonna head to the gym. It's a push day for me. Upper day for Renee.
And we leave on Monday.
So in 2 days, we'll be leaving from the video. Let's get to training. Right, so this is my a little bit less shoulder focused push day. So I'll start with the machine lateral raise. So side delt first, and then move into like an incline press from there. So that counts for me as more of my front delt emphasis, as I don't do direct overhead pressing, just from a mobility mechanic aspect. To get in this position, really like externally rotated, beats up my shoulders. I can only last a few weeks for it, so just modify it like this angle is comfortable. So I stay in that like incline press position, and that'll be more of my focus that way. Then move down the pec, hitting like a flat press, and then do a decline fly in that order for the day. So I'll hit this one, the machine lateral raise behind me, leaning into the pad. That way, what I want is that side delt staying on top, opposed to like having the thumb come up, rotate up, and have more front delt emphasis doing your lateral. So if you lean forward, you can focus on the side delt too. So just do 2 sets here, push sets hard to failure, 10 to 15 reps in these.
feeling kind of tired, groggy. I don't know if it's allergies or prep or both.
So what Renee is saying is that I will be doing most of the talking in this video.
But you're so good at it.
For me, our Texas allergies are bad here. We came back home and it hit me pretty hard. So you can hear it in my voice, but I'm pretty groggy. I'll fucking push it in here, like whatever, but it does bring a damper down in how I feel.
Energy just feels low.
Yeah, it can kind of drain you the allergies. It sucks. Can't wait. Go to Tampa and we'll maybe not have allergies. So Renee hit her hammer strength overhead press. For a lot of females, we'll just focus on training that top line, just like the front delt, upper pec. Still have some, like for females without breast implants, we'll do flat pec work. But for females that do, I won't, because usually those are laid underneath the muscle, and it'll shift them out of the pocket. And for how much you put into surgery for that, it's not worth it. And then also, just from a development aspect and wearing a bra on stage, it makes sense. Like, you're not going to be showing a lot of pec. But anyway, I'm doing my Smith machine incline press, and basically it'll hit front delt either way, but it's also, for me, just upper pec. So I set it up to where the humerus is traveling at the same angle of those upper clavicular fibers. So they run right this way. So I should see my humerus traveling in that same arc. Now, if I start to get more elbows out, you see the delt fibers start lining up with the humerus more, or if you get really overhead, well, definitely it's a lot of front delt. So you can put emphasis on how you're setting up your bench, but you also need to set it up within your movement ability. And that's important in your exercise selection. So it's not like you need to do Smith press like John does. You need to do a press that's appropriate within your mobility and movement mechanics. And also what you need from a development aspect. But anyway, I already did my top set. Hit 9 reps. I'm doing a back off set now with a lighter load. Hit up in the 10 plus rep range. Renee's moving on to her pull down, so we hit some delt, front side delt. Now she hits her lat work next. So one thing cool to see about training the lats, if you really want to train like lower lat fiber, you see the lat fiber, how they run, which it attaches in the humerus. So we should have this humerus traveling as close to the body as possible to the torso to align with the fibers. And if you see directly from behind Renee, you see the wrist to elbow to shoulder all stays vertical in one line, driving that elbow down and tight in. It won't be perfect, but that's the idea. So you should be setting up your handles at shoulder width to keep that angle to where you're driving straight down in. Now, depending on your mobility, that might be out a little bit, but in general, that's the idea if you're trying to really train lats with the pull down. Now, you could train more upper lat, teres major, lower trap fibers if you want your pull down to come more elbows out. And you see a lot of people that do a pull down, they end in this position. Well, that's not going to be a lot of the lower lat area, be more upper lat teres. So to change that, you need to transition that elbow in and drive down. That's why the prime handle is really nice. You get in that neutral or supinated position where it's much easier to go into that internal rotation. Anyway, nerd, fucking nerd.
I don't even know what you were saying, but I know it was nerd.
It was. Meathead nerd. Going to my flat press next, so set up on the hammer strength. Again, got some great upper pec fiber development, so now I want to move down the pec. Where those fibers align with is from the humerus down to the sternum area. So that's where my humerus should be traveling. We should see that pec fiber being pressing and coming down slightly. And not elbow out, pressing, it's gonna be more delt. Again, fibers lined up with where the humerus travels. Right, Renee?
Right,
Right.
every two side.
Flat pressing done. Renee moving on to her rear delt work. So side delt, front delt, upper pec work, lat work. Now finishing out with this rear delt. You can see, again, humerus is lining up with the fibers. It's a reoccurring thing for us how we want to align movements and set up exercises. She does a single arm to really focus on the delts. When she does two, she's very like trap dominant. There's other ways you can set this up to take that out, but she's found this to work well for her, so that's why we keep it in. It is like 6 days out, but I still put a pretty high effort level into my sets, and I truly believe like regarding programming is making the most, like, and this is Joe Bennett's thing that I've picked up, is that it's been what I've done. It's making the most out of a rep first, setting the exercise up appropriately, making sure you're at the right tempo, pace, you're setting up your mechanics within your movement abilities, milking those reps for everything you got into a high effort level. And I think that should standardize what a set is, what your volume is, before you just start adding in more. So I truly believe like those last reps before we get to that failure point are the ones that really are the most stimulating for growth, especially as you get to an advanced level. You need to take it there. And that's why I believe high effort level, but that is not saying with compromising form. So whether you reach a technical failure point, you want to stop before that occurs, where you're changing the movement just to move weight. That's not bodybuilding. You want to lock in that form, those mechanics that we set up, and take it to that high effort level to where we're close to reaching mechanical failure, where you're no longer able to contract muscle on its own. And that's kind of my stopping point. It's rare that I'll get to a point where I actually fail in the concentric, but it happens, more so in maybe isolation movements and things. I don't see much benefit going beyond failure, but to that point I do. So that's kind of where my philosophy lays. And then once you have that standardized, I believe like once you set a volume level that you can recover from, you can hang there for quite some time before needing to adjust those. But you will, if recovery permits, you might be adjusting volume up. Or you might have some specialization cycles where you focus on particular body parts, maybe weight volume, on isolation movements. Sorry, I'll get off on a tangent. Training continues. Alright, so got through my compound movements. We're going to do a tricep push down with a prime bar. There's 2 sets there for triceps. 12 to 15 reps on those. Do 1 set of a decline fly. And everyone asks me about these ankle cuffs. Well, Joe Bennett actually sent me some. So hypertrophycoach.com, you can order some and get some special anabolic cuffs for yourself, which come in handy if you're doing pec deck flies. Just take your hand out of it. But also the pec involved a little bit of internal rotation. So rather than holding a handle, we can keep that arm internally rotate a little bit. And for this decline fly I want to do, again, humerus lines with the pec fibers I want to train. So we're going to be coming down across the pec. You can feel it, like the contraction is hard coming across. So that's the setup. I'm not going to do it on bench, I'm just going to do a freestand day. Only 1 set here, aiming for around 15 reps. 2 sets of tricep push downs. And that's going to wrap it up for the day. We are back from the gym. This is
playtime. They always get super amped up around this time.
This is our like wind down time, and they're amped. Training went good for me.
Training went good for me as well. I honestly started to kind of fade towards the end there. Just kind of felt really tired.
It's been the summation of every time we do a training video.
Yeah,
it's like,
I know.
Renee's tired. Renee's tired.
I swear it's only when we film, because I have my good days.
For the most part, it was pretty good. It was just when I said like, oh yeah, I have a set of flies and 2 sets of triceps. I usually have another tricep exercise. I just completely cut it because I felt like I was starting to come down. At that point, I just want to keep the session quality high and cut it off. Look at my face.
You know what that means, right?
Like, man, diet face looks good right now. Bad,
but good.
Yeah. So like, I did a little bit of posing post session. I was like 214, and I like the look. It was super full. It just, with the foods I eat now and the fiber amount, digestion's a little bit more distended, harder to control the waist. So I think once we switch to doing like the fibers out, the veggies are out, maybe that looks more like 212 going on stage.
Yeah.
Which would keep me full, which is better than going on stage at like 206. So that'll be what I try to bring.
Yeah.
So this is our meal number 5. You hear salads.
You've seen it. You know.
They might not know.
Well, if you don't know,
if you
go
don't
back.
Know,
No, you know. No, go back and watch our what we eat in a day video, because we show you all our fun, fantastic, delicious meals.
This is a really good one.
Yeah.
So it's just for me, we eat about the same amount. So 125 grams, 150 grams of lettuce, grilled onions, mushrooms. I have 6 ounces of chicken.
I have 4 ounces of chicken.
And I use the G. Hughes Polynesian sauce in mine, and mustard.
I did mustard and some Polynesian sauce, G. Hughes Polynesian, and a little bit of the G. Hughes sweet and spicy barbecue sauce.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a little mixture.
It's just makes it like a honey barbecue dressing. If you say like, we put mustard on our salad, like, dude, that's fucking weird.
Disgusting.
But if I call it a honey mustard barbecue dressing, then you're like, oh, well, that makes sense.
And honestly, like, we've been doing this forever, and I don't even miss like normal salad dressing. It tastes really good to me.
I do put some, we got Truvia packs. We had a knockoff brand from our grocery store, and they haven't carried it, but Truvia has been pretty good. But that's sweetens it up a little extra for me.
I haven't been putting Truvia in mine.
Which it's stevia, but they do use erythritol, which erythritol, it's a sugar alcohol, but it's only like 90% of it is it's not metabolized. It's passed right through. 10% of it can be fermented, so you're looking at a very small amount. But on Truvia, they have little cool sayings on the back.
It's like a fortune cookie.
Which, if you can see it.
What's that one say?
Share your voice.
Share your voice.
Which I, of course, share my voice all day long with y'all.
He's really good at that.
This should have been yours.
Me,
Renee, share your voice. Speak.
You know that's not my strong suit. That's what you're here for. I'm just here for the looks.
Yeah, it's not one of my forte. Well, let's eat our salads and peace out. We will be in Tampa, bringing it.
Bringing it, guys.
Fucking gonna
probably get my nail fixed before I do that. I lost a nail.
That would be the stage critique that held you
yeah,
back.
like
depending on what judge it was, they
like,
would totally
Renee,
catch
we
it.
were gonna give you a higher place, but you were missing a nail, so we had to knock off a couple points for that.
The most ratchet wellness competitor.
Sorry, guys.
Opposite of diva.
Maybe I can just hide it. I'll get it fixed at some point. But are you excited for Tampa?
No, I am excited.
You know, I'm excited too. I think I just like Tampa.
The 212 lineup's going to be a good one. It really will be. There's going to be a lot of guys showing up, so it'll be a fun show.
Yeah, we'll have fun again and take you guys along. It'll be a good time.
Like, subscribe, comment below.
Bye, guys.